Jonathan, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
I wasn't really aware, to be honest, that there were smacking bans kind of looming. I think they've banned smacking in Scotland, I believe. But to be honest, I thought we had sort of banned smacking down in England, but maybe not.
No, I mean, you're right. There's a misunderstanding that, this banning. Obviously, yes, you're right. Scotland in 2020, Wales in 2022. And it's been discussed here, especially with the Sara Sharif case, and I've spoken on here before.
Yeah.
What we understand is that it is illegal to hit a child.
Right.
So this is the problem when we get into that grey area, because there is a defence of reasonable punishment or reasonable chastisement. And it's that defence. However, that defence under the Children's Act 2004 disappears should there be a serious assault, something like an ABH or a GBH, or even in this case. So I think it's that misunderstanding. So what they think the government should do, or both, whatever government's in power, they should do is take away the possibility of that defence, because it has created a bit of a grey area.
Right. That is really the problem, isn't it? So, I mean, in terms of what happened to poor little Sara, I mean, obviously that was way above and beyond any kind of smacking conversation. It was sort of 10 years of ritual abuse, practically. But I mean, would something like this normally have an effect on the conversation, shall we say, at least, about harming children?
Possibly, and I take that from when you listen to what Sara Sharif and Bridget Phillipson actually said when they made these calls to the police.
Yeah.
He used the expression, he legally punished her.
Right.
So it's like, this is in his mind that he thinks that he's been brought up, whatever background we come from, there's been this belief that you can hit a child as punishment, something. And of course, in this case, the sadistic, psychopathic control freak went too far. We know that. But even Bridget Phillipson said this was an incident. So I think this is this understanding that we're all brought up with the fact that it's a normal process that a parent can smack a child as part of punishment. If you took that away, if you took that defence away, perhaps that might help children in the future.
Right. And I mean, is there any evidence in Scotland that putting a ban in place, or in Wales putting a ban in place, makes any difference?
Well, that's what the government have actually said, that the reason they're not going to make any changes to the child welfare bill that's coming up, because they could easily put it in there, it's not too late. They've stepped back and said, we want to see what the impact will be, and it's sort of too early. But of course, what we haven't heard are the opposite, that we've had all these, suddenly these children that have made these allegations. Of course, they don't anyway. So I think it's too early to actually be able to say what that's made. But I just think just take away that possibility of a defence, because we know it is illegal to hit a child.
Right. And so, there aren't really any circumstances in which, if you're a parent, you should be thinking about doing it.
Exactly. They use the analogy that, well, what if a child walks across the road into a car? Well, yes, you grab them by the arm. Well, we've got defences in law for things like, trying to save someone's life, that you physically will actually restrain them, or you've got the defence of somebody trying to damage your property. You can actually step in and physically grab hold of somebody to prevent damage or further assault.
Right.
So we've got the law in place for this type of thing. So I just think it's this grey area when it comes to smacking that the government could quite easily get rid of simply by adding it to the child welfare bill.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Jonathan, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Jonathan Taylor, former detective, works for 15 years in child abuse investigations.